red car's about to meet the man in the blue car. Get himself a pretty pink ticket.
Turn everyday moments into learning moments. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Jeannie Bouchard, who joins us now. Our producer, Pat Costello, went to a concert the other night. The people next to him bring a 3-year-old child that's screaming the entire time. Any issue with that?
That's not right. Obviously, the child doesn't want to be there if he's screaming, right? But that's just not, respectful.
Bigger issue, that or the fact that Pat went alone to the concert?
Oh, wow. That's a red flag. We're his friends.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses. A public service message from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN.
Start your morning right with Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company, the official coffee of Fitz the Bill and ESPN Richmond. They have fresh artisan pastries made from scratch daily in their own in-house bakeries to go along with some of the best coffee in RVA. 3 locations, one in Shockoe Bottom, one in the West End, and one in Lynchburg. Check them out too online at ironcladcoffee.com. Fitz the Bill is powered by Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company each and every morning.
Richmond, it's time to get your morning going. Spicy Mom.
We are going to wreak havoc.
The only thing I am thinking about is the game.
Holy catfish! Touchdown, Seahawks!
Rashid Shaheed.
Richmond Sports Talk by Richmond sports fans.
This is Fitz the Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick.
All live from the capital of the Commonwealth,
where sharp analysis, your cause, and Richmond always come first.
If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now, live from the capital of the Commonwealth, Fitz the Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Brunson finds Anunoby, finds some space and throws it down. Throws up a wild shot. Here comes Josh Hart. Hart down the middle, alley up to Bridges. And the Knicks have come back to tie it up with 3.5 to play. Josh Hart being the catalyst.
The shot's not going to always go in, and you got to give Philly's defense some credit. Just like you got to give our defense some credit, but we know we missed some shots that we normally make, and they missed some shots that they normally make. So, it's about trying to figure out a way to get a stop. That's what you can control more than the ball going in. And I thought our guys did a decent job of that as we were going down the stretch without fouling.
What a freaking game last night. Eastern Conference semifinals game 2. Knicks got a 108-102 win over the 76ers. 25 lead changes, most in a playoff game in over a decade. Oh, by the way, there were 14 ties. The Sixers led at half. They led at the end of the third quarter. But the Knicks were able to put together a solid enough fourth quarter. Not great, but solid enough fourth quarter to pull away ever so slightly, secure the game 2 win, and they did it over a Philly squad that was without Joel Embiid, although the Knicks squad was without Karl Anthony Towns for large stretches of the game because Cat, in pure Cat fashion, got himself into early questionable foul trouble. Welcome in, Fitz the Bill on this Thursday, May 7th morning. Appreciate you clocking in, making us part of your morning right here on 1061 ESPN Richmond, the ESPN Richmond app, ESPNRichmond.com. We're also streaming on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. If you want to watch the stream, just type in ESPN Richmond. We'll pop right on up and you can watch the stream live. And you can call into the Radkey Insurance phone line, 804-327-0888. Head to radkeyinsurance.com to get started on your free quote today. And I know I sold my Knicks stock a while ago. I'm not buying any more Knicks stock, but I am watching the Knicks stock price increase with each and every game. They set what? They had 25 points or more. They won by 25 points or more in 3 straight games. First time that had ever been done in NBA playoff history. Then they won their 4th in a row in a pretty emphatic fashion, right? They showed that they can go toe-to-toe with the team and pull out the win on the other side, and they can do it in a multitude of ways. And OG Anunoby continues to do OG Anunoby things. I am just utterly blown away by OG Anunoby's play. He had 24 points last night, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. These playoffs, he's shooting 53% from deep. OG shooting 62% from the field. Also having 7.5 rebounds per game, 2 steals per game, averaging just a shade over 21 points per game in about 34, 35 minutes per game. Insane efficiency from OG Anunoby. Then you got Mr. Steady Eddie, right? You got Mr. Jalen Brunson doing what he always does, gives you 25 plus, takes care of the basketball, is able to find the open man, and is just, like I said, Mr. Steady Eddie. And the Knicks have gotten great performances out of Mikal Bridges. He has found out that he's actually good at basketball again, which has been massive for New York. He had 18 points last night, 9 of 13 shooting. After being an absolute black hole the entire regular season, he's become an efficient shooter because he's figured out, I can attack the basket. And without a big man on the court last night for the Philadelphia 76ers, he was able to attack the basket a lot and get a lot of those shots to go down. Philly had a great performance last night from Tyrese Maxey. That second quarter, Tyrese Maxey was everywhere. He scored 15 of Philly's 29 second quarter points. On the game, Tyrese Maxey did a little bit of everything. Him alongside Paul George and Kelly Oubre having 19. But Maxey really played a solid offensive game. However, it was one thing Tyrese Maxey did that was uncharacteristic. He turned the ball over a lot. 6 turnovers last night for Tyrese Maxey. That's the most turnovers in his young playoff career. And those turnovers were the death nail for Philly last night. They did not have a lot of wiggle room. They were. I've said it, 4 times already, because it's the story of the game. People might be sitting here today going, well, Philly looked like a better team without Joel Embiid on the court. Stop. They need Joel Embiid if they want to have a chance in this series. And they had no wiggle room last night. Maxey did everything he could. Kelly Oubre did everything he could. Paul George was spectacular for 3 of the 4 quarters. But those turnovers were the death nail for the Philadelphia 76ers. 18 turnovers by Philly. New York scored 23 points off of them. Ooh, and that right there, that was the game. Knicks look well on their way to securing this. It'll be fascinating to see how they play in Philly, because that's going to be a very aggressive atmosphere. But Alan, I mean, New York, man, they're showing right now they're the best team in the East. They're showing that they've got a clear path to the NBA Finals. I know they still got 2 games left to win, but they've done it in 2 different ways now. They've won in 2 different ways. Absolute blowout fashion. They did it last night in a close one where they're 2 big men. Or I guess they're 3 big men, right? Cat had foul trouble. Huck Porty was in foul trouble, a name you hardly ever hear. And that's because Mitchell Robinson was out with an illness last night. They essentially did that with a small ball lineup.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Huck Porty is a name we pull out often.
When he first came on the court, I thought they were calling him by a nickname. Like his name was like his last name was like Huck, and he wore the number 40. Because I don't watch the Knicks enough to see Huck Porty minutes.
I think even if you watch the Knicks, I don't think Huck Porty gets a lot of run. But hey, look, I got to give them credit. They're looking good. They're playing good.
Yeah.
They took the best punch of the 76ers last night. In a must-win game, I think Philly brought the correct energy this time. Like they knew they needed to win this game if they wanted to swing the series. Unfortunately, they fell a little short. I disagree a little bit with Maxey because I still think some of his shot selection was really god-awful, especially in like the second half. I was like, you didn't have to force up some of those shots. It was almost like he was doing the thing we've been talking about with guys just trying to draw fouls on jump shots and things like that?
There was that one, his final 3-point attempt kind of looked like he was doing that as all of his momentum was taking him kind of side of the basket, had a hand in his face. I think he knew he had to do that, though, in order for Philly to win. He had to play in that style, up tempo, a little helter skelter, and hope some of those were going to fall. And they didn't fall for him, but for a large portion of that game, they were falling for all his teammates.
Yeah, again, I think when Embiid's not on the floor, I'm big on these random numbers that I like to throw out. But if Embiid's not on the floor, I need to see VJ with at least 18 shot attempts, man. Like,
one of us got nerd stats, the other one of us got gut stats.
Yeah, man. Like, it's a lot of these trends typically come out like that. But I need to see him with at least 18 attempts, and I need to see him be more aggressive using his athleticism. I think he settled for some jump shots last night, and he has been more efficient from 3-point than I think any of us thought he would be coming out of Baylor.
Yeah.
But that's still not the key to his game. He needs to be more inside out. They need to, especially when they have the small ball lineup, they can spread out enough and space out enough. He can take whoever he wants one-on-one and drive to the basket and draw contact. So he needs to mature a little bit in that aspect and understand they need a more aggressive VJ when they don't have Embiid on the floor.
100%. But the thing is with Tyrese Maxey, he had 9 field goal attempts in game 1 when Joel was out there. Felt like he overcompensated a little bit last night, just a little bit with 23 field goal attempts. The team as a whole, very clearly, though, and this is why I'm not giving him too much crap, like VJ Edgecombe having 7 3-point attempts, Tyrese having 6. Like, I'm not giving him too much crap with that because it really did seem like their game plan was, all right, we just better hope these threes go in because we have no way of attacking down low, which seemed a little interesting as the game went on. And Karl Anthony Towns got in foul trouble. Huck Porty, the great Huck Porty, he got into foul trouble too. And like the Knicks had to answer with a small ball lineup of their own that it seemed fine, but it didn't seem like it was going to lock down the paint. And the 76ers and Nick Nurse were just like, yeah, we get it. Their tallest guy out on the court right now, 6'9", but OG's playing the 5. But what we're going to do, we're going to keep jacking threes. Of their 75 shots, 34 of them came from long range. And early on in that first half, about 50% of their points came from the 3-point line. It was very clearly in the game plan, like, we're taking jumpers. We're not getting to the hoop.
The glaring thing to me is that they have not been able to exploit Jalen Brunson's size.
Yeah.
I thought for sure they would be able to do something like between Maxey, Oubre, Edgecombe, Paul George, like getting him in the switches and being aggressive when he's on whoever's got the ball. Like the Hawks for at least 3 games made it a thing. Like CJ McCollum for at least 1 game for sure was like, everybody clear out when I got Brunson on me. I'm taking him to the rack. And that was actually in New York. Like, he did a great job of exploiting that.
It is weird that Philly hasn't exploited it.
They have not exploited it, at least not to the extent I thought they would.
Especially last night when it seemed like Karl Anthony Towns, who finished the game with 4 fouls, he had two fouls early on in the first quarter. It seemed interesting because he couldn't really defend last night without fouling.
He can't defend these guys in space.
Tyrese is so quick. VJ Edgecombe is so quick. You get them on him, and then you can just drive past Brunson. I will say I think the Knicks' defense has been very, very good, and we saw it last night. Every time Maxey got the ball, or even VJ Edgecombe, but it was mostly Maxey, whenever he got at the top of the key, the Knicks came with a double pretty quick to try to trap him, and it forced Tyrese to pass it out. So I think maybe that's how they're able to do it. With Jalen Brunson, they're not leaving him out on an island against Maxey or Edgecombe. They're bringing that help defense, and it's forcing the Sixers to swing the ball around, make a couple of extra passes. It turned out to be in their favor last night because they drilled a lot of those.
Yeah.
But in game 1, it wasn't in their favor, and they weren't really able to figure out how to handle that.
Yeah, scoring 12 in the 4th is not the way to go to win anything. I just put it out. Like, we can really look at this game and say, like, we can put everything on that 4th quarter.
I mean, and I have it in my notes here. It's like the Knicks weren't good in the 4th either. They shot sub 50%. They only scored 19. But in a game here, let me go quarter by quarter scoring for you. 33-31 Philly, 29-30 New York, 28 all in the third between the two, and then 19-12 Knicks over the 76ers. In a game that is that close, you don't have to be miles better in the fourth quarter to win. You just got to be marginally better, and the Knicks were marginally better. And, oh, by the way, Paul George, who had a magnificent first three quarters, he struggled in the fourth. He put up an offer. That goose egg was showing up big, especially when he took that ill-advised three over like the outstretched four hands of Knicks defenders late in the fourth quarter, essentially a gotta-have-it possession for the 76ers, and Paul George just put up an ill-advised three. Tough fourth for Philly. Tough fourth for Paul George.
Yeah, it went to one of these situations where they just forgot what got him there. But I'm actually more optimistic about the 76ers going into game 3 because they had the right energy last night. They just couldn't finish. I think the guys in the locker room need to just go ahead and have that tough conversation and say, we just need to assume we're not going to have Embiid, period, right?
Yeah.
And like the adjustment should be when you have Embiid, not this weird adjustment when he's not on the floor, right? Like I feel like they should have been fine. They've already played multiple games this playoffs without him. Last night seemed like they were trying to figure out how to play without Embiid once again on the offensive side of the ball.
I will say the fact they're able to keep it close last night, heading to Philly, I think Philly gives them an edge where if they play that same exact game, they can beat the Knicks in Philly and get a game back. But here's the thing. You can't rely on Kelly Oubre to drop 19 again. You can't rely on Kelly Oubre.
Kelly said you can.
Okay, Kelly.
Did you hear his quote?
No. Did he say something like that?
It was pretty funny. They asked him about his three-point shooting, and he said he was locked and loaded. The gun just jammed in game 1. So
oh my goodness.
Something similar. I paraphrased a little bit, but it was
hilarious.
It was hilarious. He was like, "Yeah, the clip was jammed."
good for Kelly. Kelly is a good personality out there, but
when he takes his meds, he's cool.
I don't mean to be rude to Kelly Oubre. I just don't know if you can rely on him to get 19 points again, and I don't know if you can rely on Mitchell Robinson to get sick. Maybe if you do a little MJ flu game type of thing and deliver a tainted pizza to his hotel room. But like everything aligned for Philly to win last night. You had your role players step up in a big way. For the first 3 quarters of the game, you were shooting above like 43% from 3. You got Karl Anthony Towns into foul trouble. You got the backup big into foul trouble. They had to play ultra small ball, something the Knicks never do. It played right into your hand as you were forced to play small ball because you were without Joel Embiid. You know, like every box you check pregame, if I had told you all of that was going to happen, you'd think Philly would have won, but Philly lost by 6. So it's going to be tough for them. They're going to need another perfect storm to happen for them to have a chance in Philly.
Yeah, last night was a winnable game.
It's a game you needed to win.
And those are the ones you have to win in a series that we've all thought would be competitive no matter what.
And it was competitive last night. That was a good game.
We're expecting a 6 to 7 game series. The ones that, are stealable, you need to make sure you get those.
Yeah. I know Philly right now, you can't rely on Embiid, but I know they are sick. He was not available. I mean, it's to be expected.
Like I told my friend, grand opening, grand closing. At this point, they should be numb.
You know what was sad? When the news came out that Embiid wasn't able to go, my reaction wasn't, what? My reaction was, that makes sense. Yeah, it's
on brand.
I hope he's good. I hope he's ready to go for game 3.
I hate to be that way, but
the fact that
you got to stop reacting to it every time when it's so frequent.
Did you hear Lisa Salter's pregame report on it?
No. What?
Essentially, it was Joel Embiid woke up this morning and had some pain and realized he couldn't go, and it's like I'm paraphrasing that. Of course, she went more in depth and about how he's been dealing with like an ankle injury. Then he woke up this morning and his right hip was in extreme amounts of pain. And then he realized he couldn't go. Man, that's the most 52-year-old thing I've ever heard in my life. You woke up hurting. Yeah, man.
I bet your hip does hurt. You spend a lot of time on the floor.
You played 2 games in 48 hours at like your highest output.
And you fall on the floor 85 to 90% of the time.
You got a lot of bruises.
I don't care how young you are, man. It's a hardwood floor for a reason.
What's the first word? Hard.
Yeah, it's to stop falling every time. Like I'm telling you, he hits the floor way too much.
You tracked
for a guy his size, man.
You tracked. The funny thing is that's what's helped him avoid a lot of these leg injuries.
It's also why his hip is messed up.
Probably why at least he doesn't have sciatica. Looking at
Not
you,
yet.
LeBron. Looking at you, LeBron.
Hey, that is a painful injury, man. I sympathize with LeBron on that.
It's shocking he's able to come back this season because everyone who tells me sciatica is horrible.
Two things that people like scoff at that are really painful: turf toe and sciatica.
Yeah, turf toe's bad.
Yes,
turf toe's bad.
I've had that too. No, I will never.
Yeah, we talked with the Ortho Virginia doctors last year about it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's like one of the hardest injuries to overcome."
I sound injury prone actually, but I wasn't.
Over here with sciatica. Come on, man.
I also wasn't a top athlete either.
True. All right, let's get a break in. We'll step aside. Be back to talk about what Wemby and company did to the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. Plus, later on in hour number 1, I do want to power rank the best celebrity fans. Because last night, Celebrity Row at MSG is a who's who of every celebrity ever. And so I want to power rank some of the best celebrity fans. That may come up later in hour number 2. Later in hour number 1. Hour number 2, we've got Destiny Spurlock. Destiny Spurlock, an 804 product, making NASCAR history this weekend in the Truck Series up at Watkins Glen. We caught up with her yesterday. We'll be airing that interview at around 9:15. You don't want to miss it. Really, really great stuff. Destiny Spurlock joining the show at about 9:15. All right, let's get a break in. Be back. Talk a little Spurs Timberwolves after San Antonio downed Minnesota 133-95.
If you want to talk Braves baseball,
Here comes some late night dynamite here at Truist Park.
there's only one place in town to turn for all the action. 106.1 ESPN, bringing you nonstop Braves action all season long.
High in the air, deep to left field. That's a long gone daddy.
Presented by our friends at Park and Go.
Eisenhower Health is recruiting physicians across a variety of specialties. Physicians, your future starts here. Join a team where advanced care, compassion, and community come together. At Eisenhower Health, a nonprofit healthcare system in Southern California's beautiful Palm Springs area, medical excellence meets exceptional quality of life. Here, you'll deliver top-tier care with advanced technology, all in a place where sophisticated work-life balance thrives. Find your place at Eisenhower Health. Visit emc.org/MD to learn more. Welcome home.
You know that one round where everything just clicks? Now imagine having that anytime you want. Back 9 Golf is opening in Midlothian, a private 24/7 golf simulator and social club powered by Full Swing, the same tech used by TGL. Play iconic courses, dial in your game, or just kick back in the lounge and watch it all unfold. Grand opening May 15th, 4 to 8 behind Sam's Club on Midlothian Turnpike. Google Back 9 Midlothian and book your demo or tee time now. Back 9 Golf, where golf never sleeps.
It's a sun-splashed Sports Huddle swan song. Tune in for special guests and a look back on Afternoons with Bob Black all week on 106.1 ESPN.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
106.1 ESPN traffic.
An accident has the right and center lanes blocked off heading south on 95 approaching Maury Street, causing heavy traffic backing up from Bryant Park Interchange. Just be aware of some delays heading west on 64 between Mechanicsville Turnpike and 95. And for those of you heading north on Powhite Parkway, expect some congestion between Midlothian Turnpike and Chippenham Parkway.
This is Joe Simpson with the Atlanta Braves, and when I'm on my road trip to D.C. and Baltimore, I always tune in to 106.1 ESPN Richmond for all my sports news. They've got you covered.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra.
Kyle Anderson checking in for Minnesota. Champagny with the block. is not Champagny. And then Fox with the takeaway. It's a 3-on-2. Champagny lets it fly. It's good. The Wolves having Champagny problems. There. Kicked it out, picked off Champagny. 3 possessions, 3 turnovers for Minnesota. Champagny for 3. No good again. Wembanyama comes rolling in for the slam.
A message. I don't know. We send lots of message. As a team, we talk a lot. Whether it's for keeping everything tight or motivating, extra motivation to each other. It's always a bunch of dynamics going on. We're always trying to keep.
I know the story from last night is the fact that Wemby had 15 rebounds in 26 minutes. I get that coming off of his 12 block performance in game 1. I get that Wemby is doing things on the defensive end of the court we have literally never seen before. I understand all that. But did you hear that name being mentioned in nearly every single highlight clip? Julian Champagny, who finished with 12 points in 22 minutes, 3 rebounds, doesn't really set the world on fire with his box score, but what he has been doing from behind the arc in these playoffs, nothing short of extraordinary. He is the quintessential glue guy. He leads the team in floor burns, insert whatever cliche you want. The Spurs got the win last night because of the play of Julian Champagny. I have been so thoroughly impressed with his play in these playoffs, not just last night, but the playoffs as a whole. He is a pretty big reason why I think the Spurs have the firepower to down OKC in the next round. Asterisks, right? Assuming both teams make it there. But after last night's game, I feel like that's a pretty good assumption. San Antonio really just handled business against the Timberwolves, 133-95. Now, you could argue Minnesota kind of phoned it in that game. And once they got down 25 at half, Minnesota said, you know what? We already stole game 1. We already took away home court advantage for the time being. We don't have to exert ourselves too much, waste energy, and risk injury here in the second half. We'll just kind of mail it in. You could argue that because the 25-point halftime lead turned into a 38-point lead at the end of the third quarter and a 47-point lead at one point in the fourth. And the fact that Anthony Edwards only played for 24 minutes would make me believe Chris Finch kind of took that route of, we're going to mail it in. It's fine. But really from the jump, Minnesota just seemed a little bit out of sorts. They never really found a rhythm from long range. They never really found an offensive rhythm at all. They committed 22 turnovers. Yikes. And San Antonio looked like the San Antonio we expected to see in game 1. And now as this heads back to Minnesota, Allen, I think Minnesota is going to have their hands full against a Victor Wembanyama who finished with 19 points last night. He did it in 26 minutes. He controlled the paint. He really was doing anything he wanted to, both offensively and defensively, before they pulled him, and he sat for essentially the entire fourth quarter.
Should have played Benny and the Jets because that's what we got. Wemby and the Jets. Now, last night was it's the thing we were afraid of, right? When you have to play everybody on the Spurs, when everybody's clicking. That was a great team effort. It was Champagny. How you say his name?
Champagny.
Yeah.
Champagny. like champagne, but
I know it looks like champagne. That's why it throws me off.
You got Champagny problems.
Champagny, it was kind of his night last night as far as the highlights go. But on any given night, it could be Castle, it could be Vassell,
crazy thing.
Yama, it could be Fox.
Crazy thing about last night. San Antonio outscored Minnesota 35-18 in the second quarter. It was a 59-35 lead at the half. Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, who had a pretty bad game 1, and Castle combined for 36 points. Those three combined in the first half to outscore the Timberwolves.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I see it. I had to do the math.
Yeah, Wemby scored 14, Fox scored 14. That's 28. Castle scored 12, all in the first half, which is more than what Minnesota had as an entire team in the first, 24 minutes? Really throws me off that we got 12-minute quarters in the NBA. But Greg Popovich reportedly was involved in the Spurs film session heading into game 2. Greg Popovich, he's been around the team ever since he's retired. He's still heavily involved. Mitch Johnson welcomes him back.
Manu Ginobili sighting last night.
Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, shout out Pop, because Pop got in there, put on his old coaching hat, and he laid into those guys.
Now I rock with Pop, man, because honestly, what was the one thing I talked about in game 1? I said that what I saw was that the Spurs lacked experience. You don't know what you don't know, right? And some people learn on the fly, and some people need the OGs to kind of let them know, like, hey, this is how we do X, Y, Z. And these are the adjustments that we need to make. So hopefully that resonates for the entire series.
And Chris Finch has got a tall task, right? Because the Spurs,
nobody can help him over there.
Yeah, exactly. Who does he got? I'm drawing a blank.
Is Flip around somewhere? No.
I think Flip passed.
Yeah, dang, man.
Maybe in his dreams he can come help him.
Poor Flip.
But like you look, and Rudy Gobert had a really good game 1 defending Wemby. Then the Spurs made an adjustment, and Rudy Gobert had a minus 23 last night. In 28 minutes, he only got 4 shots up, had 5 points, did have 10 rebounds, but just kind of was a non-factor. Rudy Gobert wakes up and has 10 rebounds. That's just kind of the game he plays.
He starts with 8 for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So like nothing really to write home about with Rudy Gobert. And Wemby, whenever he was matched up on Gobert, really just had his way. So Finch is going to have his hands full getting an adjustment for the adjustment. And now that Popovich is reportedly involved helping the film over there on the Spurs side, you smell that? You smell a push broom coming out, a little gentleman suite coming out now that Pop is involved.
I think Ant's got to, especially once he gets back in the starting 5, and as the gentleman said about the Lakers and LeBron, he ain't going out. Like, he ain't going for it. He ain't going for no gentleman suite. This has got to go at least 6.
And Anthony Edwards, I think last night quickly realized, I don't think we can win this game. I may just, Chris Finch just sat him after 24 minutes. So I think that's what happened. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We've got Bruce on line 1. Good morning, Bruce. How are we doing?
Hey, good morning, Fitz. Good morning, Alan. So I have a question. Fitz, Alan, you guys know Pete Rock and CL Smooth. I'm sure y'all do, correct?
Yes, I'm familiar.
Okay. So we're going to reminisce. Triple T Roy, we're going to reminisce. And you can use that as bumper music. Dope jam. So all last night, especially when it was 100 to 106 in favor of the Knicks, 1995, Reggie Miller pops into my mind. And I could just see that happening with Tyrese. So I know you guys say, Bruce, 4 out of 5, it's not happening. But let me come back, because I still see 4 out of 5. And what I'm going to say now, come Monday, there will be a different conversation to be had. It will be a 2 out of 3 who can win. And we are still waiting for either Edgecombe or Tyrese to have a Reggie Miller game where the Knicks are up by 3 or so, and we come down and knock down a bucket. And then we come down and knock down another bucket. And many of y'all may not recall, but Tyrese has done this at the Garden already. I'm not putting up new hats. Tyrese has already done this at the Garden. So I'm going to say this series will go 7. And I'm waiting for either Game 5 or Game 7 to be a Tyrese or VJ Edgecombe moment.
I like it. Stepping up to the plate, you're calling your shot. A little Babe Ruth-esque a bit there. I mean, it's lofty. Tyrese is going to have to do it in Wells Fargo first before they head back to MSG. But look, I think that Philly crowd's really going to help the 76ers. If they're able to get a similar performance like they did last night, I think in Philly they win that game. And I think that's going to go a long way for them in these next 2 games.
Hey, Bruce, Pete Rock and CL Smooth had another hit off of Poetic Justice called 1 in a Million. I think that's what you got. That's your chance right there. 1 in a million.
Yeah. Bring that bumper music back, though, man, because people will love to hear that as we reminisce. Man, that's just dope music. So bring that back on this. And look, guys, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. There was a guy in Philadelphia who was a crossing guard, and it's in the news, it's on YouTube, on Twitter, I'm sure, that avoided an accident between a truck and a bus. And he is the sentiment of what we are going into. I hope you get a chance to watch this interview while he's eating the ice cream. I hope y'all can watch that during the break, because it is just hilarious. It is hilarious. I mean, praise God that my man, as he said, is still here. But watch the interview, man, because you guys are going to fall out y'all's seat laughing on the interview with the ice cream.
Yeah, the ice cream was a good touch on it. I watched that one yesterday. That was a good touch on it. Bruce, appreciate you calling in. Have a great rest of your day. There goes Bruce. I always appreciate Bruce calling in. Another song off that soundtrack, Alan.
Yeah.
Waiting for You.
Yeah.
We'd be waiting for Tyrese to have that type of game, huh? Waiting for you. We're waiting for Joel Embiid to come back after missing last night.
I play a lot of Pete Rock on Lake Show since he's into the old school hip hop. But yeah,
I'm still mad at Lake. Lake said I didn't know old school hip hop. I'm still mad at him. I said Wu-Tang Clan. He goes, "What you know about that?" I was like,
I'm mad that Wu-Tang is old school now.
Oh, sorry.
It is though.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it is.
Anyway, Popovich, old school. Sometimes it's good.
Hey,
sometimes it's good. Pop is a
sometimes
guy
to move forward, we got to move backwards.
He's a guy
right?
I would love to have around my team when we're talking basketball at any level, especially to get into his mind. And I do like that we've seen with the Pistons, with the Spurs, and some of these other teams that are like the Knicks last night. They had a lot of support from like Allen Houston was at the game, Patrick Ewing was at the game,
Ben Stiller, Timothy Chalamet, Spike
obviously
Lee.
your celebrities, but like the former players, like people are showing out and supporting the current age of basketball and these guys and these franchises. I like to see that.
So I do have one thought. So if the Spurs can get Popovich back, can the Minnesota Timberwolves give a call to Jerry West? Because the Lakers used to play in Minneapolis when they were the Minneapolis Lakers. I'm not so sure when that move made and if Jerry West ever played for the
We got to bring up people that are here with us, unfortunately. I don't think the logo would help the Wolves if he was still around anyway. I feel like his allegiance for helping with things like that, like on the X and O side, was strictly LA.
Yeah, look, I feel like
front office he would do it.
No, yeah, front office.
I really don't think he was giving X and O advice to the Warriors.
I'm trying to think of any Minneapolis Lakers we can pull from because the Minnesota Timberwolves list is quite short.
Let's call up Prince while we're at it.
Yeah, he
could ball.
We need another guy who's alive, man. We're going back all the hits. Jeez Louise. All right, let's get a quick break in. Step aside. We've got News or Snooze coming up next right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Where did she get that thing she got? What? Coconut jewelry's got a lot of what you're looking for in a jewelry store. Coconut's got much more.
Make this Mother's Day a special one with handmade unique pieces for mom at Coconut Jewelry. 405 North Ridge Road or online at coconutjewelryrva.com.
Coconut jewelry, they got it at Coconut Jewelry.
This is advertising material. When you clock in for work, you trust your employer to keep you safe. If a workplace injury left you hurt, unable to work, or facing mounting bills, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys has recovered $2 billion for families harmed by unsafe conditions, faulty equipment, and employer negligence. They fight corporations and insurance companies so you can focus on recovery. Don't wait. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys now for free consultation. 877-222-6666 or alexwins.law.
It's a Sunsplash Sports Huddle Swan Song. Tune in for special guests and a look back on Afternoons with Bob Black all week on 106.1 ESPN.
Do you love football and want to be part of the game and give back to your community? Become an official in Central Virginia. We have a nationwide shortage of officials, causing some games not able to be played on Friday nights. You'll work and train with veteran officials, get great exercise on the field, and you'll earn extra income working the game you love. Active duty military and veterans could receive free uniforms and gear. Training classes start June 22nd. To register, visit cvfoa.org and click register to become an official. That's Central Virginia Football Officials Association, cvfoa.org.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
106.1 ESPN weather.
Expect rainy conditions this morning with mostly cloudy skies later this afternoon with some scattered showers throughout the area. Highs only reaching 60 degrees this afternoon with lows tonight dropping down to 44.
The sun is setting on the Sports Huddle, and it's time for the Swan Song Show. Hey there, it's Bob Black. Thursday, we're going out with an exclamation point. Mitchell Bradley's back to produce. Greg Burton's coming back on the air, and many more from all the years. Join Matt Josephs and me Thursday, Sports Huddle finale, 4 to 6, 106.1 ESPN.
News.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Or snooze.
News or snooze, starting with our favorite post-playoff topic.
It's been 72 hours, Alan.
It's post-playoff topic because, he keeps popping up.
Thanks to his
Brown,
Twitch stream.
If up to me, I'd be with the Celtics long-term.
Snooze.
Duh.
Jaylen Brown took to his Twitch stream yesterday, and man, he's making life real hard on him. This was him on his Twitch stream.
I love Boston. If it was up to me, I could play in Boston for the next 10 years. I'll say it again. I hate that Brad even had to respond to this. Like I said, me and Brad had a great relationship, and I can play in Boston for the next 10 years. I love Boston.
I blame the Ringer. I blame Ben Simmons and all these other people. Bill Simmons. I blame Ben Simmons too. But I blame Bill Simmons and all these people who give this guy this idea that we don't care what you think, man. He's not even the guy that we want to talk to when we're talking about the Celtics.
So I've got a couple of big takeaways from that
chat,
brief.
Hear me out, chat.
Chat. Drops F's in the chat. Drop F in the chat. 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 Clip this. Chat.
Scatterboo. Sure. Jaylen Brown. Come
Puka
on,
Nacua. No. Jaylen Brown. No. What's the craziest part of that? The fact that he's having like this heartfelt message to the fans of Boston, I would assume, or Jaylen Brown fans.
There's nobody else but Boston fans.
Or is it the fact that you hear the Twitch notifications for subs going the entire time? Or is it the fact that he talks in the past tense when talking about Brad Stevens? Did you catch that?
I did.
He's talking in the past tense. Look, I actually think Boston would want to keep Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum. If we're looking over the next 5 years, Jason Tatum, we don't know what he's going to be coming off of the Achilles and then coming off of what we believe to be a calf injury to his other leg. It's thought to be that he injured his other leg because it was overcompensating for his Achilles injury on his left Achilles. So you really do not know what Jason Tatum's next 5 years is going to look like. You know what Jaylen Brown is. He has been healthy. He has been playing at the top of his game over the last couple of years. He won the dang NBA Finals MVP. If you're Boston, I think if you actually look out over the next 5 to 10 years, you would rather hitch your wagon to Jaylen Brown than Jason Tatum because you understand Brown. I know this version of Brown is going to be here for the next 5 years, and I know I can hitch my wagon to him. All I got to bring in is another good player, and we could probably have similar success. Heck, look at this season. They were expected to be out of the playoffs, and Jaylen Brown willed them to the 2 seed in the East. I know things didn't end the way they wanted to, but that was built around Jaylen Brown. So you've got faith that he could be your long-term answer. So if the Boston Celtics are looking to move off of someone this year, if I'm them, I'm selling on Jason Tatum. I don't think they should sell on either one, but that's the interesting part of this. Brown seems to be annoyed with Boston for reasons we don't really know why. But if you're Boston, he's the one you probably want to make happy and keep around for the long term.
I feel like nobody has disrespected Brown in any way in the sense of that organization acting like he's not a key component, if not the component at times, that gets them going, right? I don't know what he wants from Boston. And I'll be honest with you, life without Jason Tatum, sure, the small sample size looked good, but the end result will not be a championship. Brown will not win a championship by himself.
I think Jason Tatum's not winning a championship.
Exactly. They need each other. They literally need each other.
And even when they have each other, they fail.
I know, but they at least have that one moment of success. And I personally prefer to see them both stay together than anything else because, again, separate, I don't see championship level of play from teams with them. Like their individual play, yeah, he'll be in MVP conversations and things like that. But if his goal is to win championships, if he's looking for that team success, I don't think he'll ever get back to the top without Tatum. Like I don't think he's got the game to win it by himself.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating offseason in Boston. We're 3 days into it. We're already getting Twitch streams. Woo, it's going to be fun.
Get away, Derek White. Bucks owner Haslam wants Giannis' future settled before NBA draft.
Snoozeworthy.
Definitely snoozeworthy.
I mean this in the most respectful way possible.
No, please be disrespectful.
I do not care. I do not care. I do not care what you do with Giannis at this point. It's that simple. Sure, yeah, you probably want his future settled before the NBA draft so that you could get good draft picks in this year's NBA draft. You know what you could have done at the trade deadline? Trade him, and you could have gotten more draft capital back. I said this at the deadline, and I will continue to say this. Every day that goes by in this Giannis trade debate, you are getting less return because he's getting closer to the end of his contract. You could have had a king's ransom. Now, of course, we don't know what was or wasn't being offered to the Milwaukee Bucks every time that this Giannis trade sweepstakes has come up into the news. But I'm assuming they've been offered a whole heck of a lot.
I will say, I believe every offer that has been reported because it sounds about right. People don't undersell for superstars in the NBA. Like, it's not like the NFL. Like they're going to give you whatever you want for
Desmond
a player
Bane
like Giannis.
got 4 firsts.
Yeah, exactly. Mikal Bridges, we talked about that.
Mikal Bridges got 4 firsts and 2 starter level players.
Yeah.
Giannis would have gotten you
and the firstborn.
Probably 6 first rounders and probably 1 all-star.
I'm telling you.
It depends on how they would have addressed it. But
the rights to his son when he becomes a NBA star.
Truly. Last offseason, you could have gotten a king's ransom for him. The trade deadline, you could have gotten a prince's ransom for him. Right now, you probably can get 4 first-round draft picks. I just don't think a team's willing to move off of it this late in the whole entire thing. And so I do not care that you want this settled before the NBA draft. You know what was before the NBA draft? Last offseason. You know what was before the NBA draft? The trade deadline. Okay, you want to settle before the NBA draft? Good luck.
I do believe that the Warriors probably tried to undersell because they.
Well, yeah, they're the Warriors.
Yeah, I believe that particular one, but like the Heat and stuff like that, I think people really wanted Giannis on their team because
I bet they were offering. Well, here's the thing with the Heat. You know, you're never getting a top draft pick because they're always good enough,
and they're not going to get rid of like their key players.
Yeah, but they might have gotten rid of Tyler Hero. But do you want to give up Giannis for a middling first rounder for the next 5 years and Tyler Hero? Probably not. It's tough. We're not in the Bucks situation. We don't know what is or isn't. But the NBA is also a very weird league, and you can have 3-team deals, 4-team deals. You could just have all this craziness.
Oh, man. And you could again. I made the joke, but seriously, I believe Paul Gasol when he was traded, the Lakers gave the Grizzlies like the rights to Mark or something like that. I forgot how that went down, but I think Mark Gasol was originally with the Lakers, and they gave him the rights or something like that. It was a weird trade.
All right, so I got you. I just looked this up. This was February of 2008. So we are 18 years away, whatever that is. Kwame Brown, Javaris Crittenton. Wow, haven't heard that name in a while. Aaron McKee, and the draft rights to Mark Gasol.
Yeah.
Along with 2 future first-round draft picks and cash considerations.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can do those things in the NBA. You cannot do that in the NFL or baseball for that matter, but it's whatever. Kentucky Derby champion Golden Tempo will skip the 2026 Preakness Stakes in what is the most not surprising news of the week.
Newsworthy. It makes sense, right?
It does.
Because Golden Tempo is a long distance runner.
No, it makes sense because it's next week.
Well, yeah, I mean that too. That's the other part I was getting to. Where
these horses don't run like that, which I don't know. Again, it predates my horse racing knowledge and fandom and betting. I know there was a reason why it was run the way that it was run back in the day, scheduling wise, but people are so cautious with the horses now, and rightfully so, because a lot of money is in these horses, a lot of money is in the races, and you lose a lot of value if you look bad. And the easiest way to look bad is to go from running the longest race that the horse has ever run to basically a sprint in 2 weeks. Like, it doesn't matter your running style.
Yeah. And then also Golden Tempo adding into that, they are so valuable. The trainer, Sherry DeVoe, knows that race does not lend itself well to Golden Tempo style. So, like, not only is it on quick rest, but it's also not a race that Golden Tempo would be good at.
See you at Belmont.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I figured anyway.
Second straight year that the Kentucky Derby winner is not participating in the Preakness. Third time in the last 5 years. Rich Strike didn't do it in 2022. Sovereignty last year. What?
Oh, Rich Strike was crazy. Yeah. I get by that. Sovereignty, I did not understand.
Sovereignty didn't do it, but did race in the Belmont. And now the discussion has been raised again for the second year in a row. Should we change the Triple Crown calendar? I think it needs to be changed. A popular alternative that's been floated around is that the Derby's the first Saturday in May, the Preakness is the first Saturday in June, and the Belmont's the first Saturday in July.
That is a revolutionary idea.
I think that is fantastic.
How did you come up with that?
I read it.
It's almost like, the horses race like once a month or a couple months.
It makes too much sense. A lot of the pushback, though, for that schedule is pushback that I don't understand. So maybe I'm just too naive.
The only pushback I could understand maybe is like some tracks would obviously have to change their schedule. It would affect the handle of some of the other tracks, but it's for the betterment of the sport. The Triple Crown is what people watch horse racing for. Personally, I think it should be the Breeders' Cup, but nobody pays attention to that.
Triple Crown's got better marketing. Dude, the big pushback is people are saying, can horse racing hold the attention of non-racing fans over the course of 9 weeks?
What?
Yes, 100% it could. You know why? This is coming from me, a non-racing fan. I enjoy going out to Colonial Downs. I enjoy doing all of that. But, like, I'm not sitting there going, oh, can't wait for the next Triple Crown race. I need to see how this is going to happen. No, I don't really care. What's fun is the first Saturday in May, I sit back, I drink a mint and julep, I put $5 down on a race between a couple trifectas and a race winner, and I have myself a fun 2 minutes. And then I forget that the Preakness is happening in 2 weeks, and I forget the Preakness happens, and then I forget the Preakness happens. I'm not bothering watching the Belmont. If you have it a month apart, you know what I'm doing on the first Saturday in May, first Saturday in June, first Saturday in July? Each one, I'm sitting back, I'm enjoying their craft cocktail, and I'm throwing $5 on a race.
You know why I advocate for the Preakness to change too? Because it's the birthday weekend of my son. I can never go. So that's another reason why I'm on board. But I'm with you, man. It happened so quick. The event of the Kentucky Derby, the pageantry and things like that is so signature that people will line up. Like, I think this was one of their highest rated handles and one of the most viewed Kentucky Derbies. And it wasn't even big name horses in the race per se. Right?
No one cares about the horses.
Yeah, it's the event.
I apologize. No, like,
I care, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm like, oh, who could be a fun one? I'm not following these guys. I'm showing up for one day a year, and I'm saying, who's fun? Who should I watch? Who should I watch?
And
who should I root for?
They're not building them up either. Like when Justify came in and American Pharaoh came in, they were destined for greatness. Like people knew about those horses before they even tap it. Knew about the horse before it even hit the Kentucky Derby. Like, I don't think they did a good enough job of raising this field, but also this field was competitive and kind of meh.
Yeah. It made for a fun race.
Yeah,
but
it made for a great race, but like by like historical standards, it wasn't the strongest field out there. And then we always have the scratches and stuff. Like there's so many things. If the sport of horse racing cares about the sport of horse racing, the adjustments they need to make are so simple and easy.
Yes.
So simple and easy. And by all means, please start hyping the Breeders' Cup because it's a good race and it's at the end of
it's at
the end of the season and it's sandwiched between crazy like sports season. You got college football, college basketball, you got the World Series, hockey, all of that. They could tie into that. So there's avenues for them to make it popular. But
I also think horse racing should move towards a more not fully, but like DraftKings should be able to list horse racing odds, and you shouldn't have to go to DraftKings official horse racing partner. And there should be traditional, what we expect to see in terms of odds.
Right, so here you go once again doing that thing where you're being too progressive.
Yeah, I'm being too progressive. I get it.
I'm not trying to mess with the books, all right? Because when you get to that part, then you're dealing with powers that are beyond your control.
That's 100% true, and I get it. But like, you sit there and you're like, why isn't horse racing growing? Because I don't know what a 7-2 odd means. You know what I mean? Like, but you tell me it's plus 250. I get that.
There's also something to be said about it being like old school, man. You get your ticket and you get what comes out the gate.
That is cool when you're at the actual event. Like that's the cool part. Like I love doing that at the event. But
it's the only place I go with an actual betting slip.
Exactly. But then when I'm doing it on TVG or whatever it is, I'm like, oh, bet 5 win. I'm like, what's a trifecta box and all of that stuff. So,
hey, look, if you're listening, horse racing folks, tie it into food. I'm telling you, or the signature drink, mint julep, Kentucky Derby. Yeah, get your signature drink.
That's what I'm saying.
And stuff for the Preakness and for is it Saratoga
Belmont,
or did they finish Belmont?
No, it's at Saratoga.
All right, yeah, I thought it was one more year Saratoga because they're renovating Belmont.
Yeah,
which is also an issue. It's not even the same.
That's the funniest part of all of it too. It's like, oh, one of the biggest races on the the third biggest, right?
Yeah, it's the longest race.
It's being ran not at Belmont. It's being ran in Saratoga.
Should have an asterisk. They should have just brought it to Colonial. Colonial's about the same size. I mean, I'm not even joking. That's a huge track.
Was Colonial in the running to be moved?
No, I don't think they got the capacity to handle the crowd.
I could. Just cram them all in.
You got to add a lot of stands.
Add some on the backstretch.
Like I said, the Churchill is a coliseum. And it's not a joke. I walked 15 miles.
That's crazy.
15 miles that Saturday between the barn and back to like some of the areas that I had to do media stuff and things like that. 15 total miles that day. So yeah, it is huge.
But yes, we should have Preakness signature cocktail, which I think they do, and I think the Belmont does too. But it's just
don't hype it.
There's Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs. They're like the New York Yankees.
Hey, look, I got you.
Just
tied into what we talked about yesterday. We need a face of the NBA to get more pub. We need these races to get more pub. Put them together. Give me Anthony Edwards on.
I was like, where are you going?
Anthony Edwards is a jockey.
A little too tall. Probably the best NBA player to transition to jockeying would have been Earl Boykin.
Did you ever see Shaq on a horse when he used to do that Shaq show?
Oh, that Shaq show. Yeah, that Shaq show was good.
Horse.
That poor horse. That is exactly right. But Earl Boykin would have been a great jockey. Earl Boykin, what, 5'5"?
He was really tiny, but I remember. I don't know exactly how small he was, but he was really tiny.
He was 5'5", 130.
Yeah, he could have made it.
He could have done it. Wow, he had a long career. Got into the league in '99, and his last played in 2012. Good for Earl Boykin. I always in 2K, I'd always go out and sign Earl Boykins.
Yeah,
it's plural. I'd always go out and sign him in NBA 2K as a free agent, and then I'd max out all of his stats.
So he could dunk.
A little 5'5" guy running around the corner. I'm like, this is awesome.
I used to do that too. I feel like everybody did that.
They're like, who's the shortest guy I can get? This will be fun. All right, that'll do it for hour number 1. Coming up in hour number 2, do the Sixers need Embiid? Fun question. It's a question that's being asked a lot after last night's Sixers performance despite the L. Plus, Destiny Spurlock. She's making history this weekend up at Watkins Glen in the Craftsman Truck Series. She's an 804 product. We caught up with her yesterday. We're airing that interview at 9:15. You don't want to miss it. And so much more. Coming up in hour number 2, right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Richmonders love Pella Virginia, and it's easy to see why. Pella gives you more, so you can feel confident choosing us for your window and door projects. While other companies may offer just one or two options, Pella has a full range: wood, vinyl, and fiberglass, so you get quality and customization, not just a quick fix. When you choose Pella, we'll handle everything from order to installation. Right now, get 50% off qualifying installations or 0% APR for 48 months. Find out more at PellaVirginia.com. Some restrictions apply.
When there are supply constraints on commodities, prices surge. You saw it with fuel prices, with the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. And you know what else is a limited commodity? Gold. They mine it out of the ground, and when it's gone, it's gone. Governments can't just print more of it. That's why everyone from central banks to savvy savers are diversified with gold. If you've been thinking about it for years, but have still never moved some of your savings into physical gold, Birch Gold Group is who I trust to help you. Stan Bongino, and now through May 29th, Birch Gold is giving first-time gold buyers a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. For details and a free information kit on diversifying into gold, text Dan to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Text Dan to the number 989898 to see if you qualify for a first-time gold buyer rebate of up to $10,000. Again, text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates apply.
Work Zone is the one-stop shop for the hardworking man and woman. When it comes to the biggest selection, Work Zone has it. Over 15 brands of boots and all toe types, even boots for the ladies. Work Zone has jackets in stock for all seasons. See why Work Zone will be your first and only stop for the best brands and comfort in workwear. And a gift card from Work Zone is always the perfect gift. Visit Work Zone on Temple Avenue next to the Ford dealership, WorkZoneVA.com, and check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 1061 ESPN.
Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill right here on 1061 ESPN Richmond, the ESPN Richmond app, ESPNRichmond.com. Also streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to watch the stream, just type in ESPN Richmond. We'll pop right on up. You can watch live. You can like, comment, subscribe live. You can also call in live, text in live, 804-327-0888. The Radkey Insurance phone line is open, radkeyinsurance.com to get started on your free quote today. Alan, I think I should become an auctioneer and then just say that opening line as an auctioneer each and every day. I think I can talk fast enough.
I don't think you can.
I don't think I could either. Give me five, give me five. You see, I can't even do it.
Nope.
And fake. Have you seen? We'll get to the Joel Embiid of it all in just a little bit, because a question that has been percolating around social media over the last 12 hours, ever since the game last night ended, is: do the Sixers need Embiid? And the answer is really simple. The answer is yes. The Sixers need Embiid, because last night everything went right for them, and yet they still lost. Cat got in foul trouble. Hook Porty, their third string center, got in foul trouble. Mitchell Robinson wasn't even available due to illness. That right there made the Knicks have to go play small ball, which played right into the hand of the Sixers. And yet the Sixers still lost. They need Embiid back. It's that simple. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, because Tim Bontemps went on Game Night last night on ESPN Radio and had a really, really great answer to it as well. But before we get there, I do, Alan, did you see Draymond Green last night on Inside the NBA?
I did see Draymond Green.
Did you see Draymond Green take a shot at Charles Barkley, and now all of social media has united in defending Charles Barkley?
What did he say about Chuck? Because I know Chuck took a swipe at him, which was pretty funny and creative.
Yep, he took a swipe at him, and then Draymond took a nice little swipe back and said, the goal is to not look like last year in Houston. Barkley in his last year in Houston had 14.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game. Draymond's career highs is 14 points per game and 9.5 rebounds per game.
Yeah, see, here's the thing with that, man. I know Draymond considers himself a student of the game, but he constantly comes at Chuck's Chuck as if he's better than Chuck. But when he doesn't mention the championship things, he's got to remember the only reason why anybody would ever consider him better than Chuck is because he has those rings. Because when it comes to statistics and individual play, it's not even close.
Yes.
As Austin Rivers kindly pointed out, it's not even close.
And
man.
that's kind of what everyone's been saying with Draymond. They're like, this is what's wrong with ring culture nowadays.
Yes.
Draymond thinks he's better than Charles Barkley,
Absolutely.
but Charles Barkley would run laps around
Man,
Draymond.
Fat Chuck would have run laps around him, man. He was way more skilled than people give him credit for.
He was a good basketball player.
Yeah.
The big ball, the round of pound. Is that what his nickname was?
Round mound of the round mound of rebounds, I think is what it was called, something like that.
Yeah, I was close enough.
Round
there.
mound of rebound or something.
Something.
I honestly never heard anybody. I know that was his nickname, but I never heard anybody call him anything like that.
Well, yeah, it's like Austin Reeves' nickname being the hillbilly Kobe.
Yeah, I've never heard that either. But I do remember Scottie Pippen was highly upset about Fat Chuck and out of shape Chuck.
Yeah.
And lazy Chuck.
And yeah.
It is what it is.
It's Charles.
But he
That's what happens. But yeah, it's a lot of fallout last night.
Last night, Kenny, when they do the little race to the board,
yeah,
and Draymond got ready to run, and Kenny was like, "I don't race active players," and Chuck was like, "He ain't active. If he was active, he wouldn't be here." and Chuck fashion, which is funny, like it's true, but dang, Chucky had to do him like that.
There was also an awkward part of it where essentially Chuck was like, "You guys aren't winning a championship anymore. Like the window's closed for you. What's the goal now?" Essentially being like, if you guys all come back, like, what do you want to do? You're not winning a championship. And Draymond, like, in the most like convoluted way, was like, the championship standard is still set. We still want to win championships. But, sometimes winning championships looks a little different. Maybe it's having a lot of sellouts. What?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Brother, just retire. If that's your championship, brother, retire.
Chuck knows a thing or two about that because I believe that Houston Rockets iteration that he had was an attempt at the end of his career to just get one more run at it. And when Scotty joined, I believe
it's a bummer Charles never got one. Because
well, I mean, when I'm not saying this to start the debate, but part of the prerequisite of being an all-time great is you keep those championships. You keep greats from winning them.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
And he got beat by the man in his era, and that happens, right? Like LeBron has kept a lot of people from getting an opportunity.
Everyone
to compete.
in the Eastern Conference,
yeah, pretty
for
much.
15 years.
He gatekept the Eastern Conference for over a decade. So you can imagine, when we look back, we'll ask questions about some guys, and you'll be like, well, they played LeBron, or, well, they played Steph.
Yeah.
Like we do that with Kobe. Well, they had to get through Kobe.
We also do that with LeBron and Steph. Why doesn't LeBron have more championships? Well, he had to get through Steph, and he never did. He had to get through the Warriors. He never did.
Yeah. So
except for that one time.
I think that's part of putting yourself in the conversation for an all-time great. We won't put that as a face of the league qualification. We won't do it like that.
Good asterisks. Yes. Good asterisks. But yeah, to be an all-time great, you've got to have some.
Or maybe you need to be a gatekeeper to be the face of the league.
I don't think you do. Let's go through. Let's rehash this real quick. Yeah. Let's go through faces of the league. It's been LeBron since what? He was drafted in 2000. Maybe not right when he got drafted, but he's been the face of the league for most, if not all, of his career.
Yeah, the majority of it.
Who was the face of the league prior to that, between the MJ retirement and LeBron coming into the league?
I would have been Kobe.
AI maybe for a brief stint.
AI, I think, had a moment, but I don't know if I would ever have considered him the face. It's similar to the Steph and LeBron thing.
Okay.
Like, I don't think AI was ever in front of Kobe.
That's a good point.
For face of the league. Just like D-Wade. I don't think he was ever in front of Kobe for face of the league.
Speaking of AI, this is the 24th anniversary of his practice rant.
Oh my God.
Practice. We're talking about practice.
Not a game.
We're talking about practice. So then before Kobe, that was MJ.
Yeah.
So MJ into Kobe, into LeBron, into question mark. Who was prior to MJ?
Oh, obviously Magic and Larry.
Okay. Who was it?
Nah, those two definitely I think were tandems. Like, I think that goes neck and neck.
That's fair.
Like they're forever tied.
That's a valid point. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the last 50 years of basketball.
Pretty much. I mean, again, we're talking rare air when we're talking faces of the league. They all have brands. I think Jordan and the shoe deal thing kind of started with him. I don't ever remember hearing people being like, yo, I got the Magics or I got the Larry Birds. But I would imagine it helped a little bit. But like the idea is they were gatekeepers, right? You had to go through the Lakers, you had to go through Magic, you had to go through Showtime, you had to go through Boston. As great as Zeke and the bad boys were, they were never like he was never the face.
Yeah.
So
that's a fun little thought experiment.
The NBA is his own thing with that, though. We don't have these debates or conversations in other sports.
You know why I think it's such a thing? And I think it's because it's such a personal sport. It's one of the only sports where you see the person with nothing. This is going to sound very weird, but like they're not wearing pads or anything. It's just their
because
jersey.
you can go to the gym and shoot a hoop.
That too.
Like somebody that can dunk a basketball. Yeah, they can't jump as high as LeBron. They're not as fast as LeBron, but we all know a guy that can knock down threes in the Y and things like that.
It's probably the most attainable sport, and it's becoming more and more attainable with the guys like Jalen Brunson, who's 6'2". Jalen Brunson's my height.
I will tell you, having run or helped run a sports group on Facebook for almost a decade, it is the only sport where people will consistently tell you they can do what you see on TV. I don't hear anybody saying, like, other than 40 times, everybody exaggerates about that.
Well, I mean, I personally, I know I can run. Like
people don't say they can tackle Derrick Henry. They don't say they can.
I can take a hit from Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I can get a hit off Otani. But somebody will tell you that they can win a 3-point contest or something.
That's
like
a great
that.
like whenever you have the question of like what could you do? Could you get 6 points in an NBA game if you played 40 minutes, or could you rush for 10 yards if you had the best offensive line in the league? More people would say 6 points in an NBA game.
The only thing I can guarantee is that I can hit a free throw.
I can't even guarantee that.
I can hit a free throw. Give me 2 attempts. I can hit at least one.
I could not. I could not. I think I finished my intramural career at JMU. I played 3 seasons. I think I finished with a grand total of 5 points. And I think I went a grand total of 1 of 8 at the free throw line.
I was a foul merchant in basketball, which is why I took up track and wrestling.
I was a fouler. I averaged a tech and a half a game.
Yeah. Who's my guy? Dort. For about OKC.
Yeah, Lou Dort.
Yeah, he plays like a football player.
He does.
Yeah,
moves like a football player too.
Yeah, that was me. Just out here just to be physical.
You know who else moves like a football player? The amount there on the ground?
Embiid.
Joel Embiid. He missed last night.
Flops like a quarterback.
Ooh, that's an insult. He was ruled out last night prior to the game, a couple hours before the game, with ankle and hip injuries, soreness, pain, whatever it might be. And the Sixers adjusted their game plan quite drastically without Joel Embiid. They went to a much smaller lineup throughout the entire game. But the more important thing was they sped the game up. They played at a higher tempo and they leaned into the athleticism they have with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. And it worked for the most part. They held the lead after the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, it was blow for blow, and it looked like they were going to be right in it up until the very end. But then a couple of threes went haywire. Paul George took an ill-advised 3. Tyrese Maxey took an ill-advised 3. VJ Edgecombe missed a couple of late threes. And the train just came off the tracks late. But people saw the success they had for 40 of the 48 minutes of last night. And so on social media, the question came up, do the Sixers need Embiid to win this series?
Yes.
Yes. The answer is so simple.
Yeah. More so because think about the way this team is built. It's built with the idea that Embiid is going to be in the lineup. Like I know people like to do that a lot with teams and players.
I did it with KD with the Houston Rockets. I stand by it.
But that team was built to have Van Fleet and KD.
That's true.
That's one thing we often don't mention. Van Fleet not being there was really the most detrimental thing because they don't have a ball handler. They don't have a real point guard.
One. They never went out the trade deadline and got one. They're
I don't understand why.
That was the biggest. Like KD made a lot of mistakes with the Houston Rockets this year. The whole Twitter scandal, the burners, everything like that.
If he was younger, I would have been okay with the amount of time he had the ball in his hand to be either all world or facilitator. But that's just not his game.
No, not at all. And like that's the frustrating part.
He needed a point guard. Just for fun fact. Embiid falls down 3.3 times per game or once every 10 minutes of playtime. Just wanted to put that out there. There's an actual stat on it.
Well, I knew there would be.
I know that apparently the doctors told him to do that, but I I think they need to reevaluate.
He was taught how to fall.
Yeah.
Instead of catching yourself,
but
you fall.
No, they can't. I mean, they could win a series without Embiid, but
they can't win this series without Embiid.
I don't think they can. If they do, it's still not a big enough sample size. The idea of when you were talking about trade him early in the season and things like that, you get in front of it, give yourself time to build a team that accommodates the fact that you no longer have him. But as it stands right now, this is a commitment to Embiid being a focal point of their team, if not the focal point at times, and it's just not going to work if he's not there.
And sure, it looked good last night for one game where they played a higher tempo. Does that look good when New York has made an adjustment to that? I just don't think so. Tim Bontemps explained it really well last night on Game Night on ESPN Radio. This was following the Sixers loss.
Following the Sixers loss. And I am going to pull that up. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow.
No, you're good. You're good.
They certainly could have used Embiid down the stretch when Cat was being guarded by guys much smaller than him in the latter stages of the game. They also could have used Embiid to get a bucket or two when they just couldn't buy a shot in the final 6 or 7 minutes of the game. That said, the Sixers have a lot of experience playing without Joel. Tyrese Maxey is obviously a fantastic player. They got up a bunch of threes. They made a bunch of shots, but the Knicks really were able to live at the rim for a lot of this game. Certainly could have used Embiid's rim protection. Knicks got a lot of easy buckets inside. I think it wouldn't have otherwise.
I mean, the points in the paint was just a drastic difference between the two sides too. He said it. New York was able to live in the paint. New York had 56 paint points. 76ers had 30. 45% of the Sixers shots last night came from beyond the arc. That's just not something that is repeatable. And I have said it time and time again. The game last night lined up perfectly for Philly to pull out a win, right? Mitchell Robinson out with an illness, Cat in early foul trouble, the third string big in foul trouble. New York has to play to the 76ers strength and go small ball. And Philly just could not capitalize late, where if they had Joel Embiid, they probably play a different style. But you know what? They probably pull out the win. I am convinced that if Joel Embiid was out there last night, they pull out the win over the Knicks.
Yeah, I think Embiid being on the floor would have been a positive based on how they played the what he's been in 3 games so far.
He was in 4 for the Boston Celtics, and 5 because he was in game 1.
And I think he's played well in 3 of those 4. So I think last night would have been one of those bounce back spots for the team.
I would say that right now you were going to get, after his 1.5 games of being poor, the first game back and then the first half of the second game back, ever since then, he's settled in really nicely. And
like I said, the energy was good last night.
The energy was great, but you need him back. You need
he's too
him
talented
back.
Not to have him on the floor.
He really was missed because the Knicks were able to dominate down low. Karl Anthony Towns, he was struggling with fouls. He finished with 4 in them. He had 2 early on in the first quarter, which forced him to miss a large portion of that first half. Finished with 20 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He was toying with that 76ers defense every time he got in because it would be like Quentin Grimes or Dominic Barlow on him, these guys that he is just vastly better than. When he was on the court, Philly had no answer for that. And then you talk offensively, you got something out of Tyrese Maxey. You'd like him to be a little bit more efficient. You can't count on Kelly Oubre to do that for 3-4 games in a row. Just so many things went well for Philly, and they just couldn't pull out the win. So they're going to need Embiid back. I would imagine, though, he's back for game 3 because they're probably going to give him a lot of painkillers to make sure he's not feeling that hip pain.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I would not hold my breath.
They need him back because
they need him, but they've always needed him.
Imagine how dominant New York would have been last night if they had Mitchell Robinson available.
Yeah,
Mitchell Robinson's a dominant force down low, one of the best offensive rebounders in the league, and he would have been going up against Bona. Like he would have been going up against Bona to get the rebounds, and Bona's not. There's a reason Bona's a guy coming off the bench for Philly, normally averaging, 10, 15 minutes a game, played like 25, 30 minutes a game last night. He nearly fouled out last night, too.
If they jump on New York early in game 3, I think New York will concede the game, but they can't allow them to stay in the game.
Yeah, I think when jumping on it, you mean like a 20-point lead in that first half.
Yeah,
because if not, New York feels like they can come back.
Yeah, because I think New York's legs were tired yesterday too in that fourth quarter. But again, it was just a battle of attrition, and they wanted it more.
And when you can get to your spot wherever you want to be on the floor, and you can get inside, you're going to have fourth quarters like that where the Knicks were able to edge them out just a little bit more.
And I will also say if I'm ever in a situation in this era where I need to win the fourth, Brunson's my guy, and he's earned that.
Yeah,
he really is a fourth
Burner.
quarter guy. Yeah,
Brunson Burner, the best. What was it? Hot Take Friday a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was an Overreaction Monday. I said Jalen Brunson is the best clutch player in the league right now.
Yeah, there was a sequence.
I stand by that.
There was a sequence where nobody could make a shot, and he just
did
a turnaround.
He just did. And you're like, that's an ill-advised shot. And then he hits it, and you're like, that's not for you, man.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
It's high percentage for him.
Everything's high percentage for him in the fourth quarter. All right, let's get a quick break in here. We'll step aside. We'll be back. Destiny Spurlock. We caught up with her yesterday as she prepares to head on up to Watkins Glen, making NASCAR history in the Craftsman Truck Series. We talk all about that and how the 804 helped shape her. She's a Richmond product. That's coming up next on the other side of the break.
It's a Sunsplash Sports Huddle Swan Song. Tune in for special guests and a look back on Afternoons with Bob Black all week on 106.1 ESPN.
Golf season is here at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. Plan your next golf outing for your kids' athletic team, church group, or fundraiser online at huntinghawk.com. That's huntinghawk.com.
Make this Mother's Day a special one with handmade unique pieces for mom at Coconut Jewelry. 405 North Ridge Road or online at coconutjewelryrva.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-921-8189. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-921-8189. 800-921-8189. 800-921-8189.
Take your game to the next level at Back Nine Golf in Midlothian. You can work one-on-one with our PGA Pro and TPI instructors using full swing technology trusted at the highest level of the game. Dial in your swing, then step into the lounge or conference room to take a call, meet with clients, or just keep the day moving. It's golf, work, and downtime all in one place. Grand opening May 15th, 4 to 8, behind Sam's Club on Midlothian Turnpike. Google Back Nine Midlothian to learn more and book your time at Back Nine Golf, where golf never sleeps.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
106.1 ESPN in your pockets. Download the app for on-demand shows, live updates.
The bill rolling right along. A little talk of the town. We've got to do this because it's a historic weekend up in Watkins Glen. We're joined now, Destiny Spurlock. Destiny, appreciate you taking some time out of your day to chat with us ahead of a pretty massive race for you this weekend up in Watkins Glen.
Yes, it's been a crazy week, but we are here. Thank you for having me on the show. It's nothing like being with my people from home. So this is great.
Let's start there then, because you're an 804 product. I mean, you look at NASCAR, whatever series it is, national series with the Sprint Cup, with the O'Reilly series, I guess they call it now, the Truck Series as well. I think there's only one 804 guy in all of that. It's Denny Hamlin, and then the rest of it, there's just not a lot of 804 representation. What is it about the 804 though that is able to create some high end drivers like Denny and like yourself now as you make the move up the ARCA series and getting ready to go into the Truck Series this weekend?
Yes, first and foremost, I love Denny. Of course, why? Because he's from home. So you have to love Denny. He was everywhere when I was growing up. And just having the chance to be like him as far as racing in NASCAR is amazing. Like you said, you don't get a lot of people that race in, that level that's from where we're from. So it's amazing to be able to be another addition to that in this space like Denny.
How did the 804 help shape you? Did you go up going to any of the racetracks around the area? Kind of, what was that like? Because I know you had a unique journey starting with motorcycles, right?
Yes, exactly. I started with motorcycles, but so like you said, grew up in Richmond. The Richmond International Raceway was 2 miles from where I grew up from, at my grandparents' house. And my poppy, which is my grandfather, he has always been a huge NASCAR fan. So I was little watching Dale Earnhardt, watching the Jeff Gordon. So in my brain, I always knew like that's gonna be me one day, just wishful thinking. And now we actually made it happen. So that's how it shaped me.
Destiny Spurlock joining us on this morning. I want to start into a little bit of the history of what we have coming up this weekend, because you're going to be the first Black woman to compete as a driver in one of NASCAR's national series in the Truck Series this weekend. How meaningful is that to you? I know it's a question you've probably been asked 100 times. It's going to be asked 100 more before the green flag waves, but how meaningful is that for you?
It means so much to me. Like I always tell people, racing has always been my passion. It has always been a love in my heart. But to be able to be the first, it's huge because it has never been done before. But I love racing, but it's not about me. It's about inspiring those little ones that are coming up after me to know that, to show them that they can do it too. So I'm excited to actually do it, but I'm excited for all the little boys and girls that are going to be rooting for me and saying they can do it too.
Was there someone that inspired you on your come up?
Race wise or outside of racing?
Either or.
So I'm going to say it's always been my mom. I tell that to everyone. My mom has been my biggest inspiration and my family support, because my mom has always told me, she told me at 4, she said, never be that kid that sat in the back of the classroom and said, dang, I wish I would have volunteered, or dang, I wish I would have raised my hand to get chosen. So when she told me that, from that day forward, I always was like, whatever it is I want to do, I want to try it. So it's only one way to see if you like it or not.
I love it. Destiny Spurlock joining us. And I want to kind of talk a little bit about the Truck Series, because we mentioned it earlier. You started with 2 wheels with motorcycles. Then the ARCA Series is 4 wheels, but it's a car. And now we're getting ready to race in a truck, which is vastly different than the last 2 things you've raced in. What's been preparation like to get ready for the Truck Series?
The preparation has been the exact same as it was for ARCA. So in the gym 6 days a week, watching a lot of film, make sure I'm staying hydrated and eating properly, doing the reaction training, getting a lot of sim training, because that is always key. So that way you're not learning the track. Once you get there, you already have an idea. But I also drove tractor trailers. No, it's not the same, but I'm not unfamiliar to a truck.
How does that play a part into it? Because driving tractor trailers, man, that must have been something.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've always been just a gearhead in general, but tractor trailers, that was a good way for me to make a living, but I'm also doing something that I love, but I'm also able to support my racing career prior to now. So that's how that came about.
So how's the season gone for you so far in ARCA, right? You were at, you had the debut at Hickory, if I'm not mistaken. You had a good finish at Kansas. What's been that experience like?
That experience has been great. Working with my team. Thank you to my sponsors, because without them, this would not be happening. So thank you, Fox Teca and NBM, Carl Long, and my coach, who trains me at ATC. But it's just been amazing. Learning all the tracks has been the coolest part. And then getting around other drivers that are new like me, but also ones that are veterans. So, sometimes if I get behind a faster car, I'm going to follow them and be stuck to them like glue because I want to see where they're getting into the gas, where they're lifting, what lines are they taking. So I've just been loving learning everything that I can.
Can you walk me through a film session? You just mentioned you watch film, and for racing, I don't think that's a sport we think of as one that requires film watching. So what's film watching like for one of these races?
So for me, I got that from when I played football because we will always watch film. You have to, learn your opponents or either, however that looks. But for me in racing, I look at film so that way I can see, where people mostly pass at. And then some of the film that I'm able to watch, you can see their feet positions and I can see how much brake they're putting or if they're trail braking or what that looks like. So I just try to learn everything I can, watch as many different angles as possible, whether it's in car, out the car, and all of that, and just learning what I can, because especially if it's at a track that I've never been to, I need to be well prepared.
So how's the film going for Watkins Glen? A lot of turns there. It's different than everything else. What's the film like for that one?
The film's it's good because I've been watching from last year. So it's pretty much the same thing, the truck race from last year. And I have road course experience. I've just never raced at this track for Formula 4. So some of the things that I've already been doing on the sim is what I see them implementing via film. So I think we're pretty good.
I love it. Is there anything you can take from your motorcycle racing experience that you've brought into four wheels?
Yes, two things. The speed, that's something that I'm not really afraid of because we go almost and over 200 mile an hour in drag racing motorcycles, and also the reaction part of it because you have to be on top of your reaction with hitting your gears, your body position and all of that. And even if something happens on the track, you have to be able to correct it really fast. So I feel like, and have noticed that has definitely carried on into now for the cars and trucks.
I can only imagine your reaction time must be insane, must be off the charts in comparison to mine. If I was going 200 on a motorcycle, I don't think things would end well for me. But here as we wrap up.
Believe it or not,
yeah.
Believe it or not, it slows down. Like you get to a point on the drag strip where you can say, okay, I shift into this gear at this place on the drag strip. And from the other racers that have been racing in the NASCAR classes for so long, series for so long, they say it slows down for them too. I'm not there yet, but I'm sure I'll get there.
I'll take your word for it. I don't think I ever want to find myself behind the wheel of any type of vehicle going over 200 miles an hour. I think I'll just take your word for that one. I think that's how we can leave that one off.
Okay.
Has there been anyone around NASCAR's circuits that have reached out to you ahead of this race at Watkins Glen, maybe offering some support or maybe tips or anything like that?
So yes, of course. So LeVar Scott, he's raced there before, and we work out at the same facility. So he's reached out. Roger Caruth, actually, I got connected with him. So he's like, if there's anything you need, let me know. So those two have been the only two that have really reached out to me as of now. But if there's anybody out there want to give me pointers, I'm open to take them. Thank you.
Awesome. Raja, friend of the program. We had a interview with him last year ahead of the Richmond race, and we've got a signed Raja picture hanging up in our studio. So we might have to get one of your signed pictures to hang up right next to his in the studio after this weekend. But now as we look for the rest of 2026, the rest of the season, everything like that, what are some of your biggest goals you still want to achieve? What are some of the things you're still chasing out there?
So overall goals, I just want to continue to, I know it sounds repetitive, but this is literally what it is. I just want to continue to learn as much as possible. My goal has always been to finish each race. So let's start there. And if we could finish each race, I would love to continue to get these top 10 finishes in ARCA. In trucks, top 15 sounds great. We don't know, but top 15 for trucks. Let's do it. Just stay out of trouble on the racetrack, don't tear anybody up, and hopefully we don't get tore up. So yeah, those are the goals.
You mentioned trying to finish having top 10. Kansas, you had a really good finish there where I think, if I'm not mistaken, you got up into a little bit and you were able to save it. Can you walk us through that moment over at Kansas?
Yes, the infamous spin save. So this was towards the end of the race, and I just feel a super push. Like, it wasn't just a tap; it was like a push. And at that point, we're on the embankment going into turn 2, and the car just turns to the side. And I'm looking at the wall, and I'm like, "We're not going that way." So I look directly into the infield, and somehow, miraculously, I was able to save it. So that was amazing. And then when I look back at the video and saw from the front angle, the back of the car was where the front of the car normally is. So I don't know how that happened, but we saved it. It sucks, but it's okay. We didn't tear the car up. I hate that I got bumped, but it's okay. I guess that's racing.
Hopefully you don't have to have any crazy saves this weekend up at Watkins Glen. We wish you so much luck. Destiny, really appreciate your time. Good luck getting ready for everything, and good luck in your traveling up there to New York.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Dynamite here at Truist Park.
There's only one place in town to turn for all the action. 1061 ESPN, bringing you nonstop Braves action all season long.
High in the air, deep to left field. That's a long gone daddy.
Presented by our friends at Park and Go.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Golf season is here. Whether it's your first round of the year or the next round, make sure you're playing it at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. We're offering special pricing this summer on outings for civic organizations, churches, kids' athletic teams, or your own special fundraiser. Also, now is the time to start signing up for your fall golf outings. For more information or to book a tee time, give us a call at 804-749-1900 or visit online at huntinghawkgolf.com.
Every 34 seconds, someone in America dies from heart disease. In that same time, you could be managing your heart health at home with Cardia Mobile, the #1 doctor-recommended personal EKG device that detects atrial fibrillation and other arrhythmias in just 30 seconds. Unlimited readings from anywhere at a surprisingly affordable price. Order now at Cardia, KARDIA.com or Amazon. Because when it comes to your heart, seconds count.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. The sun is setting on the Sports Huddle, and it's time for the Swan Song Show. Hey there, it's Bob Black. Thursday, we're going out with an exclamation point. Mitchell Bradley's back to produce. Greg Burton's coming back on the air, and many more from all the years. Join Matt Josephs and me Thursday, Sports Huddle finale, 4 to 6, 1061 ESPN.
Really appreciate Destiny Spurlock for taking some time to chat. I mean, history being made by an 804 racing product up there in Watkins Glen. Excited to see how she does in the Craftsman Truck Series. She's been tearing it up in the ARCA Series, that kind of feeder system to it all. She's been racing in the ARCA National Series, gets this chance in the Craftsman Truck Series. And over the last 14 months or so, she's gone from 2 wheels to stock car racing, now to truck racing. Lots of changes there for Destiny over the last year plus, but excited to see how she does. Excited to hopefully have her in studio when the Richmond race comes around and she gets an opportunity to race the trucks at Richmond. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it sounds like she's just a person that can drive anything. If it has wheels.
18-wheelers.
Yeah, she said she did tractor trailers and everything.
She was driving tractor trailers to pay her bills when she first started racing. And it's just like,
some people just have that talent.
Some people can just drive. I got my CRV. That's about it.
My driving record would keep me from being able to drive.
Oh, you got a bad driving record? Interesting. I've never been in a wreck that was my fault, and
I've never been in a wreck.
I've never been pulled over.
I've been hated on by the great police.
Only say nice things. Only say nice.
No, I haven't been in any accidents, thankfully. But I'm known to go a little fast.
A little fast. Couple
just
over.
A little bit.
Couple. Okay.
Yeah, in these traffic lights,
cruise controls for
the cameras. They're lying on me, man.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I swear that wasn't me.
The cameras are cheating.
They shouldn't be able. Look, there should be some sort of respect, a level of respect.
Yeah, there should be an interaction.
You should not be able to ticket me if a camera is getting me. I'm sorry, you were lazy and didn't want to be at the intersection.
New kit.
Which is great for Colonial Downs.
Which is when it happens, yes.
Yeah. Let's be nice to New Kent County over there.
No, man. You pull me over, look me in the eyes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need, just because you want to be all futuristic. I mean, we talk about the good old days, right? The good old days was back before they had cameras and a cop actually had to pull you over.
Hey, maybe you get off, you know?
Yeah, you sweet talk them. That's part of the fun of getting a ticket. I wouldn't know. I've never been pulled over, but maybe that's the fun.
Must be nice. I'm calling Espo.
Hey, Espo, help me get out of it. From Destiny, I do want to change gears. Hey, that was a good one. You're getting a lot of changing gears up at Watkins Glen with all those turns, road course racing. I want to talk a little NFL quarterbacks, the quarterback position heading into the 2026 NFL season. I know we're still a ways away, but look, OTAs are getting underway in the next couple of weeks. That leads us right into training camp. That leads us right into the quote unquote meat of the offseason. So we got to start talking about quarterbacks that got something to prove this upcoming NFL season. I've ranked them.
I can help you. Wait, who? Yeah. Are you doing like the list bottom to top?
Bottom to top.
All right, go. Let's go ahead. I want to hear it.
Fifth place is Drake May of the Patriots. So I'm not saying these are guys that are bad that need to get better. No, these are just quarterbacks that have something to prove this upcoming season. Drake May did not play well in the playoffs. That is our last memory of him. There were also questions of whether or not that he was a bad schedule merchant. There are a lot of questions swirling around Drake May. There's a lot of Drake May supporters, but there's just as many Drake May detractors. And I think heading into this next season, he's got a lot to prove to show that last year wasn't a flash in the pan. Honorable mention is Jaden Daniels here as well, because Jaden Daniels has a lot to prove heading into this season for similar reasons as Drake May. Drake May, his breakout year came his sophomore campaign. Jaden's came his rookie campaign, and then had an injury-riddled sophomore campaign. But both head into their junior season, year 3, trying to prove to the rest of the NFL that they are legit, that they are true top 5 level quarterbacks in this league. And for Drake May, he gets an extra wide receiver, potentially, with the A.J. Brown trade on the horizon. Jaden Daniels potentially has a new wide receiver coming in with IU.
May, he also might be potentially without his head coach.
I was about to say, and then there's a lot of offseason distractions swirling around the Patriots that old Drake May's got to overcome.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him because I feel like they did have a good,
they had a good thing going,
and it's not a done deal yet. But the rumors are getting louder, and
you hear what TMZ reported?
Yeah, every other day TMZ is dropping more and more things. So.
The latest from TMZ.
No, the latest is
crazy.
That's
bad.
That's some next level stuff.
That's bad. Like,
Mike, what are you doing, baby? What are you doing?
We were talking about how like Diana Rossini broke moral code and ethical code.
Yeah, we're crossing all kind of lines.
Vrabel just broke moral code, and then it's a question of whether or not the Patriots will put up with it. I genuinely do not know if Mike Vrabel will have a job at the start of the NFL season.
I think it's still on Mike if he wants to stay or not. I don't think they'll kick him out.
Well, granted, Robert Kraft, he was allegedly dealing with a lot of his own stuff a couple of years ago.
I don't think they'll kick him out.
There's just so many things going on around him.
They're literally on the doorstep of being back to greatness. I don't think they'll
You're right, but like if there's another 2 bombshells that come out,
he's also the key to the AJ Brown thing. Like, he coached AJ Brown. And,
no, I know a lot's hinging on him, and he could destroy the Patriots. So the 4th quarterback with a lot to prove this season, I got CJ Stroud here, and this one's simple, right? Like his draft counterpart Will Anderson just signed a record-setting extension. He has been undoubtedly a top 4 linebacker in the NFL ever since he joined. You've got that going on one side of the ball, and then CJ Stroud on the other side looked like he was going to be this revelation after his rookie season. Year 2 had some issues with Bobby Slowick. The offense never really found a rhythm. They've been dealing with some injuries to their wide receivers. Slowick moves on. They bring in a new OC. Year 1 last season was a little up and down. The defense is really what led Houston to all that success. It wasn't the arm of CJ Stroud. And now, as he heads into year 4 of his rookie contract, they've already approved his team option for year 5. But this is when he can either solidify himself as the future QB of the Texans, or he can solidify himself as the stopgap before Houston finds a new quarterback. There's a lot to prove with CJ Stroud. Got to prove that he's dependable, reliable, and consistent.
Might have the easiest avenue in the AFC to playoffs. Because
playoffs,
the
We're talking about practice.
The Colts are going to have a Daniel Jones who's coming off a major injury. The Titans are still rebuilding, and
you got the Jaguars
have Trevor Lawrence, and they still don't know what to do with Travis Hunter. So
hey, no, they're making him full-time DB.
That's what they
with
say.
An occasional wide receiver role.
Exactly, that's what they say. So
no, I think coming out of the AFC South, whether it's winning the division or getting a wild card, is the easiest division to make it into the playoffs. Because if you don't win the division, you've got 4 very winnable games against the Colts and the Titans. So right there, you've boosted it.
And that defense is still, to me, going to be top 3.
I'd say top 2. I think it goes Seahawks then.
I'm trying to give myself a little bit of a window just in case they have an injury.
No, I'll say
they're going to be elite.
They may be even top 1.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an argument to be made. They were the best defense last year.
I don't want to play them. I'll tell you that.
No. But CJ Stroud, fourth most to prove this upcoming season.
I have no complaints yet.
Number 3 and number 2, I'm going to say at the same time because they're both quarterbacks up in Minnesota. JJ McCarthy and Kyler Murray both have a ton to prove this season.
There's nothing JJ has to prove. Well, he proved it to you last year.
I mean, he stinks. He is a certified BUST, right? Like he's a massive
9
bust.
has nothing to prove. Isn't it 9?
6
or whatever,
9,
whatever
7,
number,
6, 7. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how impactful JJ McCarthy is. But look, Kyler Murray
is 9. Yeah.
Okay. Kyler Murray, he was in the MVP conversation less than 5 years ago. He has shown that he's capable of being a very, very good quarterback in this league. He's always shown those flashes, right? And then the Cardinals, after a couple of turbulent years, after a couple of injury-riddled years, I mean, Kyler Murray's never really been able to stay healthy an entire NFL season. Cardinals let him go for free, right? And he gets scooped up by Minnesota, probably the best landing spot for Kyler. And now he's got something to prove because we know he's got the talent. We know he's got one of the best QB, quote-unquote, gurus in the NFL. This dude, Kevin O'Connell, literally just put Sam Darnold back together, and then he went on to win a Super Bowl the first year away from Kevin O'Connell. Kyler Murray, you've got all of the necessary makings to become I was going to say all-pro, but I'll at least say Pro Bowl quarterback after spending a year in Minnesota. You've got a lot to prove because if this doesn't work out, you're done.
You also forgot that he's got Addison and
Justin Jefferson.
Who's that guy?
Yeah,
Jetta.
Everyone wants to hear about my dynasty football team. Yeah, I know Justin Jefferson's on that team, and he cost me a lot of games last year.
If Jetta and Addison got to throw their hands up and wave, I know people not looking at the stream, or some people are. They got to do this here.
You got to throw your hands up, wave them like you just don't care.
Then Kyler got to go, man. Like you should be able to find them all the time.
But
the time.
For JJ McCarthy, I also think he's got something to prove, at least in training camp. At least in training camp, because
you're done, but
his head coach stuck out his neck for you,
which was silly.
It was really stupid, and his head coach may have saved his job low key by bringing in Kyler.
Quick, Do you understand the bar JJ has to reach?
Yeah, he's got to be
He replaced a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what Sam Darnold is.
And look at the other quarterbacks in his division, right? Jordan Love, pretty darn good quarterback.
Better than McCarthy.
Jared Goff, pretty darn good quarterback.
Better than McCarthy.
And why am I forgetting? Oh, and Caleb Williams.
Better than McCarthy.
McCarthy's got a lot to prove because he's another guy that could take the Josh Rosen career arc. Oh, yeah. Given a small chance, shows that he's a complete failure. And then by this time next year, he's selling insurance in Florida.
Not have been there. It's ridiculous.
He shouldn't have, but he still got a lot to prove because if he does not prove it, he's selling insurance.
Looking
next
at
year.
you, Ty Simpson.
Jeez.
Yeah, let me hear number one, though.
You know who number one is.
Who is it?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, my God. Where's If Man? No, where is If Man on your list?
Justin Herbert's got nothing to prove.
Where is If Man? He has everything to prove.
Justin Herbert.
He's a top 5 or 6 paid quarterback in the league. What is he doing?
He's
nothing. Nothing. If Drake May has to prove something, what about the guy that Drake May
beat? We all agree Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. Do we all agree that Justin Herbert is a good quarterback that you can win football games with?
Yeah.
Then what has he got to prove?
That he can be better than good.
No, he's got to prove that his Chargers teammates can stay healthy.
Hurts has a Super Bowl under his belt.
And Hurts has been
has playoff wins under his belt.
Sure. But what has happened this entire offseason? What's happened? Oh, it's just been leak after leak after leak out of the Philadelphia. Sure, but it's saying that he's uncoachable. He's stubborn. There's poor body language. He's not always bought in. The players notice he's not a leader of men. He's the reason the offense became predictable. He's the reason the offensive coordinator got fired.
Which isn't true.
Well, that's what all these reports are saying. And guess what? No one has refuted these reports. There's reports that he is the reason why A.J. Brown is going to be traded. Devontae Smith.
Man, they're all negative. They're not going to dispute other negativity.
Devontae Smith has voiced his own frustrations with it all, saying every play is a grinded out, receivers have to win type of thing. Howie Roseman has said that the reporting is unfair and that they publicly have supported Hurts.
It is unfair.
But they haven't refuted any of it. And this is the last fully guaranteed year of his deal. No extension is currently being discussed.
And
a lot to prove
if
for
man
Jalen
gets
Hurts.
to skate with Harbaugh and whatever other excuses he's got going
If you
on
can
out
look at me and say that Justin Herbert's got more to prove this offseason than Jalen Hurts does.
I 1000% believe that. At least Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl. He actually went to a Super Bowl too.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Super Bowl MVP.
I'm talking about this season. I'm saying this season he got no money fully guaranteed. He does not have another fully guaranteed year after this season. They have not started talking extension with him. He has been the reason the offense became predictable, stagnant. Sources say that Hurts has had poor body language. He's not always bought in, and he changes the plays at the line of scrimmage from what the coaches tell him to do.
That part I don't believe. I have a hard time believing.
I'm just saying.
Justin Herbert's doing that. I mean, not Justin Herbert. Jalen Hurts is doing it.
I was going to say, Justin Herbert might be doing it, but he's doing it correctly.
Not trying to knock him, but just don't think that was in his scouting report there.
He's
changing the
I'm not even trying to be a Jalen Hurts hater with this because I think Jalen Hurts can prove the quote-unquote doubters wrong, but he's got a lot to prove. A lot to prove this upcoming season. All right, let's get a quick break in. No. Let's get a quick break in. We'll be back. And another thing to wrap up this Thursday edition of Fitz the Bill.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Give the gift of timeless beauty this Mother's Day at Coconut Jewelry, where every piece is handmade with care and designed to be as unique as she is. From delicate necklaces to bold, personalized creations, You'll find something that speaks from the heart. Visit us at 405 North Ridge Road to find your next family heirloom or bring in a cherished favorite piece for expert repair. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable. Choose a gift that lasts at Coconut Jewelry. Online at coconutjewelryrva.com.
Perspective still matters. That's the Sports Huddle with Bob and Matt. Weekdays 4 to 6.
Oh, another free one. Thanks, dog. You always hook me up.
Another hour of the fun stuff on deck.
Another one of your nonsensical rambling stories.
And another round for everyone on me. I don't want to hear another peep. Okay, all right, here's another one.
Another thing before we get up on out of here on this Thursday morning, we got a texted quarterbacks with the most to prove heading into the 2026 season. Number 5 was Drake May. Number 4 was CJ Stroud. 2, 3 interchangeably, JJ McCarthy, Kyler Murray. And number 1, my Philly hatred reigns supreme with Jalen Hurts. We got a text in. What about Dak and Tua? I think Tua's got nothing to prove because I just don't think Tua has anything to prove.
Tua's already
I think he's been cast off. I think he's away, and no one has hope that he can ever be the quarterback that takes you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Tua's
I don't
done.
think Tua has anything to prove. No.
Kyler's got something to prove because I still think there's talent there that Kyler could take a team to the Super Bowl.
I don't think Dak can prove anything to anybody, no matter what. He's been improperly.
Dak is a top 7 quarterback in this league, and people do not want to hear that.
But yeah, I agree with the Texan. Absolutely ridiculous.
No,
list.
it's not Jalen Hurts
hatred.
This isn't
wild.
Jalen Hurts hatred. If it was Jalen Hurts hatred, I would say he's got nothing to prove because he's a failure of a quarterback.
Oh, how smooth that came out. That's what you really wanted to say.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Jalen Hurts. There has been a whirlwind of reports around him this entire offseason. I feel like I'm not crazy for saying this. There is a whirlwind of reports. There was that entire bombshell report that Jeremy Fowler and I forget exactly who was his co-author with that, which it compiled more than a dozen sources inside the Philadelphia building that said that he is the reason the offense became stagnant.
Texas said Rossini's making those reports.
No, that's a good tag. That's a good tag.
The text of the week.
Hey, but we know Rossini only has the reports from New England. Rossini don't have the Philadelphia scoops.
Unfortunately, that's not the rumor.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I think Nick Sirianni's a buttoned-up man. Big Dom wouldn't let him talk to her. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. But look, this isn't me being a hater of Jalen Hurts. I know I have that track record, and it may come out later on this offseason. We'll see on that. But there's just a lot for Jalen Hurts to prove. He's got to overcome the reports that are swirling around him from this offseason and prove that he's not the issue. Because right now, the story coming out of Philly is that Jalen Hurts is the issue. That's something to prove. You've got to prove to the rest of the NFL community that you're not the issue. I think it's as simple as that. It's not hatred. And you're right. Dak doesn't have anything to prove.
Dak can't prove it. That's why I said that. Like, he can't. Like,
no,
people are going to hate him.
He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league for the last 3, 4, 5 years when he's healthy. You always got to add that caveat because he's had a couple of, terrible injuries. When he's healthy, he's one of the best. And I think he could do it again, be on MVP level again, and no one would give him the time of day.
He could win a Super Bowl, and they still would say something's wrong. Just like you do with Jalen Hurts.
This isn't me being a Jalen Hurts hater right now.
If you got to keep
I am a Jalen Hurts hater. I am a Jalen Hurts hater. I got to keep saying it because I am a Jalen Hurts hater. But I'm right now not being a hater. I'm just saying I'm trying to talk heart to heart with Jalen Hurts.
You're very concerned for his well-being and his next contract. I understand.
He's got to prove it so he gets signed well for his next contract.
Or he'll end up in the doldrums of the New York Jets or the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, you say that with a little sarcasm.
Purgatory.
You say that with some sarcasm in your voice, but it's not wrong. Look what happened to Carson Wentz after they decided he wasn't the guy.
Russell Wilson is mulling playing for the Jets to go on the TV. Just go to TV, man.
Go to TV.
Don't do it, Russ. Come on.
Do I want to hate my life for a year or do I want to enjoy life and talk about sports? I actually think Russ would be good on TV. If he drops the whole facade that he's got going on. The whole
I feel like he'd be a little bit like RG3.
No.
Just not as reaching. Like RG3 RG3 reaches for reactions. Russ isn't going to reach. He's going to be corny, though. I got to say.
I don't know if he can be as corny as RG3.
Mr.
Man.
Unlimited. Come on, man. That was really bad.
Go Hawks. Go Hawks. Broncos Nation. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
He's got it.
Go Big Blue. I think that was his Giants one. Yeah. What do you think that process is like as he's workshopping those things? You think he gets up in the mirror and he's
absolutely, he's in front of the mirror.
Bronco Nation, let's ride.
And he does
like, no, I don't like that one.
And he asks Sierra, what does she think? And she goes, that's good, honey. Like, she's not paying attention.
Yeah.
I promise that's exactly how he goes.
She goes, as long as you're not talking to that Rossini girl.
Oh.
Too far. All right, that'll do it for Fitz the Bill on this Thursday morning. We'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll bring up more Jalen Hurts hatred.
Diana.
Hey, maybe I'll bring up some more Jalen Hurts hatred. Probably not. I'll save that for the actual offseason when I can put together long takes of why, and I can have stats that back it up. I can't wait.
There will always be some drama surrounding Philadelphia.
Oh, yes, there will be.
As
and
long as Sirianni's there.
Right now, it's all about Joel Embiid. Right now, the drama's should he stay or should he go with Joel Embiid?
Will he play? Will he not?
Waiting for you to bring it full circle. We're all waiting for you, Joel Embiid. We're all 1 in a million. That's the chances of it. All right, coming up later today, it is the final Sports Huddle with Bob Black. This is his final show as he heads off into retirement. He's still sticking around with the Spiders, but his final show here on ESPN Richmond starting at 4 p.m. You don't want to miss it. It is a loaded day with guests. Mitchell Bradley coming up. He's producing the show, the big return for Mitchell. And then before that, we've got the Lake Lewis Jr. show from 3 until 4. And after the final Bob Black Sports Huddle, we've got Cavs Pistons Game 2 starting at 6:30. Look, you're listening to 106.1 ESPN Richmond. We are where Richmond talks sports. Coming up next, it takes you into new ESPN Radio and then the Rich Eisen show from noon until 3. Then Lake Lewis Jr. show from 3 until 4. And Bob Black's final show. Mitchell Bradley making his return producing. And a loaded slate of guests. All starting at 4 p.m. with the final Sports Huddle.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year.